teaching called The Fear Factor. How many remember the show used to come on TV called Fear Factor? That was one of my favorite shows. Mine and my mom, we used to love that show. And it would challenge people's deepest fears. Because if you put dollar signs on something, people would do things that they thought they would never do before. And so it was called Fear Factor. It had people getting in aquariums with snakes and people eating stuff that you wouldn't even think about eating and jumping off of buildings. There was a whole lot of stuff going on. But they said fear is no longer a factor for you. And so we're going to start this teaching today called The Fear Factor. And there are many different components and outlets of fear. But today we're going to just deal with the root of fear. Where does fear come from? And I want to give you a couple definitions from Webster. Webster says that fear is to be afraid of something or someone. Fear is to be afraid of something or someone. It also says that fear is to expect or worry about something bad or unpleasant. To expect or worry about something bad or unpleasant. It also says to be afraid and worry. Have you ever met somebody they just worry all the time? It used to be the older people. Every time you get around them, well, they were just talking negative and they were just so afraid. I remember my grandmother didn't want me to play football. She was like, I'm scared you're going to get hurt and I don't want you to play whether something happened to you. And I'm like, I'm going to be okay. Nothing's going to happen to me. I'm not going to get hurt. And I finally convinced her to let me play football. And so they were always worried about something. But how many know that worry didn't just show up? It was something that put that worry in them. And now I find a bunch of young people are full of worry and anxiety. You don't have to be old to worry now. Now young people are always worried about something, things they have no control over, and lose sleep worrying about things that they cannot change. And so Katie Medrano, in her article in the list verse, the article is called The List Verse, says the top 10 strong human fears are. Now she gave a list, but how many know there's a whole lot of phobias? Yes. I got a book on warfare, and it's so many phobias, but I'm going to give you what Kathy Medrano said, the top 10 fears that she has discovered in the lives of people. She said the first fear is failure. Failure. Anybody ever wrestle with that fear of failure? Yeah, that you're not going to be able to accomplish your goals, your desires, that you're going to come up short. So that's a big issue in the lives of people, especially driven people. See, if you're not going anywhere, you don't have anything to fail at. But people that are driven and goal-oriented and want to accomplish things in life, they wrestle with this thing. Am I going to be able to accomplish my goals and my desire? So they wrestle with this fear of failure. Men wrestle with it. Am I going to be able to provide? Am I going to be able to train my children up? Am I going to be able to nurture my family and give them the things that they need? And I know if you're a single parent, you have that same responsibility that falls on you, fear of failure. Am I going to be able to provide? Am I going to be able to accomplish the task or the goals, the vision that I have for my life and for my family? So say fear of failure. Fear of failure. The second one, I don't know why people worry about it because you have no control over it, the fear of death. Like Mr. Brown said, when you're dead, Corey. You just join the bereavement family. When you're dead, you're dead. How many know you can't control it? When it happens, it happens. When you're dead, you don't know you're dead. You in heaven. Or hell, wherever you end up at. Well, you never really die. So what people are really afraid of is what's going to happen to this suit that carries the real love. And many times people are more afraid of shedding the suit than where they're going to spend eternity. The real you should really be concerned about not this flesh taking its last breath. So people have a fear of death. Say fear of death. The third thing is I can sense when people wrestle with this, they have a fear of rejection. What if they don't like me? What if I mess up? Or what if I don't live up to their expectations? Let me set you free right now. You don't have to live up to anybody's expectation but God's. Because some people, you'll never live up to their expectation. You'll never do it. You'll be a success, and they'll tell you, well, I wanted you to be a doctor. You'll be a success, and they'll say, yeah, but your brother still did this. You stop setting your expectations based on people's perception. So people have this fear of rejection Let me just help you out. Everybody's not going to like you. Everybody's not going to like you. And stop letting people be important enough in your life for their opinion to matter.
All right. Amen. Amen.
I don't have time to teach on relationships. We're talking about fear. The fourth thing is ridicule. People are afraid to make mistakes. When people are perfectionists, they take it very deeply when you correct them. They take it very deeply when they make a mistake, as if they're not human. The only person that never made a mistake was Jesus.
That's right.
And so people are afraid of ridicule. What if they don't like my performance? What if they don't like my speech? What if they don't like me? What if they talk about me? They talking about you anyway. They talked about Jesus. It doesn't matter. You got to lose that phobia. Stop trying to cross the ocean for people that would not jump a creek for you. Stop trying to jump the ocean for people that will not cross a creek for you. Say ridicule. The fifth thing is loneliness. People are afraid they're going to end up alone. If you keep being mean and cantankerous, you are. That's prophetic of your destiny. If you keep talking about you can't do people and there are no good people out there in the world, you're going to end up alone. And sometimes the very thing that people fear the most, it ends up happening in their life. Job said, the thing that I fear the most, losing my children, losing everything that I have, has come upon me. So sometimes our life and our prophecy is self-fulfilling. Because what you fear, you usually attract. What you fear, you usually attract. If a dog comes up and there's 5 people, he's going to sniff out the one that's the most afraid. The other people may be afraid, but they're holding it together. But there's one that's just discombobulated, and that's the one that the dog is going to pick up on. Well, you usually attract what you're afraid of. So, loneliness. Say loneliness. Loneliness. Number 6, misery. And some people cause that to themselves. Misery. I don't want to be miserable. Well, stop being miserable. Stop being miserable where people can't hang around you, where people avoid your phone calls. They hit ignore when you call or let it go straight to voicemail. Stop being miserable and you won't have to fear misery. It's a seed that you release and it'll be the seed that you get in your life. I can't deal with that. Disappointment. Don't fear something that's inevitable. We're all going to experience disappointment. Situations are going to disappoint us. People are going to disappoint us. Sometimes the people that we love the most are going to disappoint us. Sometimes the people we pour the most into are going to be the ones that disappoint us. You can't escape disappointment. Let me just say this. Your life is not going to always turn out the way you want it.
That's right.
Everybody has an ideal. This is the ideal life. Very few people hit that mark. It's a good mark to aim for, but very few people hit it. And then so people wrestle with this fear of being disappointed. Baby, just as sure as you're sitting here, you're going to be disappointed. Amen. I didn't get the promotion. Disappointment. I got turned down for the loan. Disappointment. I didn't get the house I wanted. Disappointment. Y'all not talking to me.
Yeah.
Number 8, pain. Whether it be physical or emotional. We're afraid of pain because we think pain is a symptom of a deeper issue, and many times it is. But the only way to avoid pain is to walk in divine health. And there is a system and there is a protocol for walking in divine health physically and emotionally. So people fear pain. They don't want to be in pain. Well, to me, this is not a deep definition, but pain is just the indicator that I'm alive. And that I'm human. How many know dead people don't feel pain? Emotionally or physically. So if you're experiencing some pain, guess what? You're alive and you're human. And there's a remedy for it, amen? Can't deal with that one. Number 9, the unknown. Let me help you out. It's called the unknown for a reason. It is called the unknown for a reason. You're not supposed to know things that are unknown. But people fear the unknown, worrying about things that they don't even know about. How much sleep do people lose worrying about stuff that they don't even know about? Well, I need to know the unknown. Why do you need to know the unknown if it's unknown? The Bible says that the secret things belong to what? To God. But it is the what? Things that are revealed belong to who? To man. So the things that are unknown, not any of your business. And the things you need to know, God will reveal them to you. Okay. 10. Losing freedom. You go 20 miles under the speed limit because you don't want to go to jail. You're afraid to be restricted or restrained. So you are afraid of losing your freedom. You're afraid. You like, I just can't imagine being in a 5x5. I can't imagine being on house arrest. I can't imagine being restricted. Some people, they